After spending 17 seasons in Tuscaloosa, Nick Saban, who is considered to be one of the greatest coaches in the history of college football, has announced his retirement. Saben is responsible for Alabama's transformation into a national powerhouse, which featured 6 of the team's 7 national championships. The University of Alabama has been a very special place to both Terry and me, Saban said in a statement released on Wednesday. The 17 years that we have spent serving as the head coach at Alabama and becoming a part of the Tuscaloosa community have been ones that we have cherished every single one of. When it comes to the legacy, it is not simply about the number of games we won and lost. Rather, it is about how we went about leaving a legacy. At all times, we made an effort to carry out the task in the appropriate manner. It was always the intention to assist players in generating more value for their future, in being the greatest players they could be, and in achieving greater success in life as a result of their participation in the program overall. Hopefully, we have done that, and we will always consider Alabama our home. Saben, who is 72 years old, had just finished his 17th season as the head coach of Alabama, which ended with a loss to Michigan in the Rose Bowl, who would go on to win the national championship. In 17 seasons, he won 201 games, which tied him with Vince Dooley, Georgia, for the second most wins at a single school in the history of the Southeastern Conference. Bear Bryant, who won 232 games in his 25 seasons with Alabama, holds the record for the most wins at a single institution. The Alabama Crimson Tide achieved dynastic heights under the leadership of Bryant, winning 13 SEC championships and 6 national titles. In addition to winning 9 conference championships and 6 more national championships, Saben was able to bring the Crimson Tide back to the heights they had reached. Simply put, Nick Saban is one of the greatest coaches of all time, in any sport, and the University of Alabama is fortunate to have had him leading our football program for the past 17 seasons. According to Alabama's athletic director Greg Byrne, he is the epitome of a professional coach, mentor, and leader, and his influence can be felt far beyond the confines of the football pitch. It is possible that his tenure as our coach has come to an end, yet his legacy will endure for perpetuity. It has been a privilege for us to be able to watch one of the most accomplished performers in the history of the world perform. It has been an absolutely fantastic career for Coach Saban. Saban was adamant about informing his players about his retirement before the news was made public, and he did so on Wednesday during a meeting that took place at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, according to sources who spoke to Chris Lowe of ESPN. The usual team meeting that was supposed to take place on Tuesday was rescheduled for Wednesday after it was discovered that some of the players would not be able to return in time due to the weather. Before making their way back to Tuscaloosa on Monday, Saban and his wife Terry seized the opportunity to spend the long weekend at their residence in Florida. Within the confines of the team room, Saban spent approximately 15 minutes informing the players and staff that he would be retiring from the sport. Next, he informed them that Byrne desired to have a conversation with them. Following his departure from the room while Byrne was delivering his remarks, Saban continued his conversation with his team. There was a sense of astonishment among almost all of the participants in the program over the timing of Saban's revelation. An hour before he broke the news to his team that he was retiring, he was conducting interviews with prospective assistant coaches through the use of Zoom. In the meeting, Saban expressed his gratitude to his players for the way in which they had shown their support and informed them that he had given careful consideration to his decision. But because of the changes that have occurred in college football, such as the transfer portal and tampering, the National Intercollegiate Athletics League, NIL, being used as a pretense for bidding on high school players and transfers, and the recruiting calendar being stretched, he informed his players that it was time for him to resign. According to sources who spoke to Lowe, Saban had been increasingly irritated with what college football had turned into. Despite the fact that he is all about teamwork, establishing a team, and developing players, the only thing that appears too important at this point is who can get what in the National Independent League and who can get the biggest deal.